Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Inside Star Citizen Review. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Try and get here live with our amazing audience. Also, please push the like and subscribe, if you will. Now, let's see what we've got going here for tonight with the Inside Star Citizen Review.
At CitizenCon 2952, we introduced the concept of distribution centers. These enormous terrestrial microcosms of Star Citizen's entire FPS experience. And since that time, we've intermittently followed along with their progress as they make their way to the persistent universe in the upcoming Alpha 323. And with that milestone approaching in just the next few months, let's dive underground one more time and see where they're at now, and discuss a little more about what you'll be doing once you get inside. What are distribution centers?
It's a super basic question, but I've got to unravel about 2 years worth of development time in order to answer it.
So a distribution center is a colossal hub that an organization owns that they distribute goods for, and this could be commodities themselves or stuff that they're making.
They're very big locations on the ground. They're a hive of activity. But you can also go there and cause some chaos as well.
To the player,
Well, I mean, you got me at chaos. You have me at chaos.
depending on what faction it is, it's still going to be a means to way of getting different types of missions.
We don't want you to go to this location and be the only person there doing a thing. In some locations, you're going to find that you're just doing a delivery mission, you're hauling some cargo out there, you're dropping it off, and you're getting your fee for doing that. But while that's happening, another player could be infiltrating it, they could be assassinating a VIP in there.
They provide a large variety of gameplay, anything to bombing runs, first-person combat, theft, you name it.
A whole quagmire of different things going on at any one time.
Basically a microcosm for all the FPS-related gameplay in the universe.
What's your favorite thing about the distribution centers?
They're nearly done.
I like this dude. I like this dude, man. So basically a clusterfuck. You know, like when you're going down to these, it's going to be essentially like, you know, PvE, PvP, PvV, PPP, PVVV, VVE, VVP, VVV. It's everything. It's all the letters. It might be all the letters of the alphabet.
So at CitizenCon, we showed you what is going on at these locations, but you want to know what's actually coming in 3.23, so let me tell you.
I love it, I love it.
We're going to have multiple DCs throughout the Stanton system. Each one of those is going to be owned by different brands. Some of them are going to be friendly towards you, some of them they're going to be hostile towards you. At each location, you're going to have access to both sides of the building, both wings. On those wings, we have 2 landing pads and a hangar, and 2 cargo freight elevators. Plus, you've got the wing itself, so all the missions that you can do outside. On the inside, you'll have access to the lobby and the rooms off that, so sleeping habs, a kitchenette, some VIP spaces, and some maintenance places in there as well, all with missions.
Below that, you're into the main body of it, which has got the central part, which is the warehouse, which is where mainly all the goods go. Branching off of that leads into 2 side roads. From there can be a mixture of rooms.
Wait. I'm reading chat. Sorry, I'm catching up. I am also watching a show with everybody here, but Trip, thank you so very much. Trip letting us know here that he sent me 2 pounds of fresh roasted super dark roast coffee that should be arriving in the next day. Thank you. That's going to brighten up my whole week. I talked about how crazy of a week I've had, Trip. Thank you, buddy. I would push your sound effect for Predator mounts, but my board is not working. Like, I'm just in a cranky mode, buddy. Just know that I'm on cranky mode and I love you, bro. But like, I want to take my soundboard and I want to throw it out a window right now. Like, I'm so very upset. This week has been hellaciously bad and I cannot wait to try that wonderfully fresh roasted super dark roast. Sounds like that Colombian gold, man. It's going to make my whole life better. It's going to make my whole life better.
Always the cargo shop.
Thank you.
Which is a part delivery space, part canteen for the
I'd push the
staff
button
to use
if it would work.
refreshment and taking a break. Storage rooms, which are the
can't
main
wait, bro. Can't
whole
wait.
of distributing big cargo boxes, which have to be used to be picked up via a tractor beam.
There are worker rest areas, there are security areas, side rooms.
And a side road, which is more like a little maintenance area, but it does have an underfloor, again with the ventilation access. That's on the inside. Branching out from that as well, there are 2 wings. Each one comes equipped with a cargo area, a shipping depot, and security door for the outside.
Okay,
Hopefully
okay.
enough content for you to get your teeth into in this kind of initial release.
Can you bring vehicles inside?
To the outside wings, yes, but you can't drive them into the actual centre, no.
No.
Sounds
what we
really
like.
confident
That's
about
what we like.
Why can't you take vehicles inside?
Because we block them off.
How'd you block them?
Bollards.
Vehicle force field?
Bollards.
You're telling me there's no way a player is going to be able to tractor beam of any
Oh, he's setting it up so that we exploit our way inside. You know what, Jared? I love Jared.
vehicle over those ballers? You can get a vehicle inside.
I would like to say no.
Everybody's gonna be trying, man.
Backers,
Right.
You know better.
Right.
Challenge is made. Get the vehicles in there.
That's every. It's like every member of DG360 is gonna do that first, man. That's so funny.
So what will bring players to the distribution centres will depend on the type of player. As we want
I'm
to
already
give
feeling
variety,
better. Thanks, everyone.
Depending if you're an aggressive player or a non-aggressive player and or lawful or unlawful. It's for the 4 types of player that exist in the persistent universe. So there's aggressive lawful, unaggressive lawful, aggressive unlawful, and unaggressive unlawful.
Which one are you?
I quite like being aggressive. If you're going to go in, you might as well go in hard, right? I'm nice in real life, so I can be aggressive unlawful in the verse.
For aggressive lawful players, you might get a mission where you have to go in and defend one of the distribution centres from a hostile attack by outlaw gangs.
You could receive a distress call from the owner of the distribution centre being informed that a gang is trying to acquire goods from a certain section of it, say the storage room.
The player will arrive. They will make their way to the location which is under attack. They will go in, they will see a battle underway between defending forces and the attackers, and they will join sides with the defending forces to take out the attackers. Those attackers might come in waves, they might have big heavies with them, they might have bigger weaponry, but you will join together, possibly with friends, to take out this big assaulting force.
Nice.
Lawful non-aggressive players might want to do something more like delivery or hauling. It's a distribution center. So you'll be able to come in, land, load your ship with all the various cargo, depending on what kind of distribution center it is, and take it where it needs to go, whether that's another distribution center or somewhere else completely different.
The plan from doing an internal delivery will be using a hover trolley to distribute one cargo or multiple cargo boxes from one section in the distribution centre to another. They really are big enough to do an entire mission without ever leaving. You could be doing a delivery from one room, let's say the storage room, up to the lobby.
For an aggressive illegal player, you might...
I just had an idea and I'd push the banana fountain button if I could, but wouldn't it be cool if they were like, oh, thank you, sir. 7 months, all right, buddy. Thank you for that, Seraph. I appreciate you, man. I just thought, like, you know, the whole idea of distribution centers, really, this is gonna take some time because it's gonna be really messy to start. You know, these are gonna be messy, okay, and everybody's gonna cry and blah blah blah. But you know, once they're functioning as they should, that the NPCs function like they should. Let's be real. Once they get that down, I think these are going to be very important to the game. And you could have a discussion about physicalized cargo and physicalized assets and commodities in the game, and that each one of these boxes in the distribution centers actually is going somewhere through a player fed mission, through your Moby Glass. Coming down, you're picking up some containers, or every one of these cargo containers in there should be in some way connected to the actual economy, which there needs to be a talk done with Tony. It's been way over the time where I'm cool. I need to hear Tony talk about the quantum economy. I need to start seeing things tying in with distribution centers in the economy. But that's not the thought that I actually had. The thought that I had was taken areas like these as PvP capture the flag zones for player-owned bases. So basically, they wouldn't be distribution centers. They would look similar to this, and then your organization could go in there and occupy it and own it. And if you had enough people in your organization, or you were effective enough, you could hold it down ad infinitum with as many players are in your organization until somebody else comes in and comes out and claims, and the rules of engagement and the mechanics of these could be set so that like large organizations could actually control them for very long periods of time. Yes, essentially like that, with more mechanics involved, Seraph, right? I think that would be a really cool idea and very easy to implement once more systems come online. But this is way down the road. But it's just kind of like a thought I had where they could use this as a template for player kind of capture the flag stations. You know, be pretty cool in my opinion.
Let's do an all-out assault on the distribution center. You can fly in. The location security will kick in, so you'll be trespassing. You'll get shot at by turrets. If you manage to land, you will infiltrate the facility. All guards will be hostile to you, and you can go in.
This looks fun.
If it's an assassination mission, you can go in, take out a VIP. If it's a theft mission, you can run a heist, go in, rob the place, get out again.
Each distribution center, especially the bigger company ones, would have armed guards at least on site. They'd also have turrets mobilized around the outside, so you would have to, coming in by air is very dangerous because you would be distinctly seen as trespassing. So each security zone around a distribution center protects it, even from the air, not just the ground. So for non-aggressive, unlawful theft missions would be a prime example of you sneaking into distribution center to avoid being detected by security to acquire goods unlawfully.
You can basically do a stealth version of the hostile mission. So instead of it being an all-out assault and going in guns blazing, maybe you find a back route in. Maybe you sneak in past guards, make your way to the location without being detected. If you get the item that you need to steal, you can turn around, make
appreciate you for that 20 months. Thank you, Luigi.
For players that don't have a mission, the response that you get when you approach a distribution center is going to depend on which distribution center it is. Some are going to welcome visitors. They'll be quite happy to see you. Others definitely don't want any visitors at all.
So depending on the type of facility, some public ones, you'll be able to come in and just use it as a social space. Other higher security level ones, you would not have or be granted access without being granted a mission.
Good. They should be plugged into faction status. Abso-freaking-lutely. I don't want static distribution centers. I want dynamic distribution centers that treat you differently according to your own social affiliation with different factions. That's exactly what needs to happen.
So besides missions, if a player decides to go like full chaotic evil inside a distribution center, they can go in full guns blazing.
Yes. How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you. A lot of resistance, so you're going to need to see some pretty, like a heavily armored ship to deal with the anti-air guns, and a lot of firepower when you get inside, because there's a load of guards to deal with.
Yeah, I heard the news about Todd.
So a big driving force behind the distribution centers is to really bring players together in all different kinds of ways. So maybe you've got somebody there who's running a delivery mission, and at the same time, you've got a group of people coming in to raid the place and steal a bunch of stuff. They all get caught up together in a whole big mess, and the hope is that it's fun, exciting, and probably quite chaotic experience.
We want it so that as you're playing it through, yeah, other things are happening around you, things that you sort of want to get involved in yourself.
I hope the players perceive it as mainly for the variety, to give the players the choice to like just to lean into, do they want to be aggressive or do they want to be passive? That we know different players like playing different ways, so we're hoping this variety in the distribution centre gives the players the access whether they want to play that aggressive or passive fantasy inside the verse.
Of course, this is the first drop of the distribution centres and development will be ongoing. We're shooting for a healthy variety of distribution centres for 323.
Good.
And more.
They're going to need a lot of them. I'm going to tell you why. They need to distribute, no pun intended, these distribution centers, because everybody and their grandmother are going to want to play this. And when you're getting there, it's going to be a chaotic mess. So if you have more than a few people at one distribution center, it's going to be a PvP bloodbath, which I love personally. I'm all down for PvP bloodbaths, but there's a lot of people that aren't, you know. So that is a very important point. You're going to need distribution centers all over the goddamn place to spread this out so that people aren't kind of like merging on each other. Personally, I like when people merge on each other. It's very, gets me excited.
To come as we approach 4.0.
So at some
What's
point
up,
after
Arcane? Good to see you
3.23
here, buddy.
and into the future, I don't know when, we are going to be looking at the end game stuff that you want to play, and that's going to be in the form of raids. Raids! Don't put that in.
Oh, we're definitely leaving that in. So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that distribution centers will be home to missions and gameplay of every sort. That Alpha 323 will mark their arrival. That the much anticipated raid gameplay first discussed at CitizenCon will follow at some point thereafter. And that if you're the ISC gameplay capture team working in builds weeks and sometimes even months before Evocati, you may find that the planets of Pyro and Stanton have loaded into the same physical space and turned themselves inside out. And all you're trying to do is make your weekly show. Don't worry, we're
going to have a little after party for sure.
For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week. Like that.
We need a lot more talks on these distribution centers, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, it felt a little light. It felt a little light tonight on this because now
I've had the time of my life. Though I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear.
It's so scary.
It's the truth. And I owe it all to you, Booch.
That was good. I'm telling you right now, that felt a little light. We're going to need a lot more talks on distribution centers. And I think overall it's a step in the right direction. I think how they're going to tie into the economy is still a mystery to me. But I would definitely like to hear more talks about the economy. And I'm going to say it all year. I'm going to talk about the stability, right? The physics grid, more about server meshing, and I'm definitely going to be talking about the economy this year. I need to hear so much more on the economy this year that's all you're probably going to hear me talk about this year. And I think that voice needs to be put out there. I think we really need to start getting the backbone down in terms of the player retention and the people coming in for economic gameplay. It's important. A lot of people go, oh, it's boring, but it really is the backbone of any good MMO. It's a good economy. It's dynamic. You got a lot of different types of assets and commodities that you're trading. They actually go to things, those items and commodities are used then for manufacturing. They go out, they spill out into the market, and then they hit these distribution centers. And I want to see how this is tying in together. Physicalized cargo, items, all of this through missions, through other people trading them player to player. I just need to know a lot more about the economy. But overall, interesting little gloss over on distribution centers. I want more information on them. I think there needs to be a lot of them spread around so that people aren't running into each other consistently, because that's going to be a gripe. But overall, I need more information on how these are going to tie into economic gameplay. And then also riffing off of the idea of distribution centers, talking in the future, possibly like capture the flag centers ready to go for players to essentially own. And then you would get crazy amounts of buffs and crazy amounts of really cool shit, and have a center in which you can trade from, and your own organization could use it as long as it could hold it down, which would mean you would need 24/7 around the clock coverage, which means you would need a lot of people there, which some people don't like because they feel like it would be a job, but some people do like because they think they have purpose when they turn on the game. It's neither here nor there. It's just an idea. Time to get to the after party.